Good afternoon, saints. I am just so full of what the Lord wants to share with you today, and we're coming to that last and the final leg of crossing your Jordan. We had talked about some of the things that we need to do in order to position ourselves to cross over the Jordan, to cross in to the promises that God has given us and into that promised land. And so much of this walk is a walk of faith, and faith is the substance of things hoped for. It's the evidence of things not seen, and I believe in the Spirit. Faith is a tangible thing that our Heavenly Father can see our faith, and the Word tells us so clearly that it's impossible to please God without faith. And so we talked about turning the page on your past, and yesterday we talked about staking your claim, and today the third and final piece of this is claiming your process and claiming your promise, excuse me. I think about when God said to Joshua, he said, as I was with Moses, so I will be with you, and I will never leave you nor forsake you. And those words are echoed again in the book of Hebrews, where he says, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. And they're similar to the last words spoken by Jesus on planet Earth when he says, and surely I am with you always to the very ends of the age. And whether you realize it or not, and whether you even acknowledge it or not, you are never out of your Heavenly Father's sight. And he sees you all the time, and he is with you all the time, and he's watching over you all the time. And I want you to really press in to understand that and accept it and believe it and claim the promise. God is with me always. And I sometimes even think about the Footprints poem, though I don't want to, don't make me recite the Footprints poem. But I do think about how it says at the end of that poem, it says, why was there only one set of footprints on my darkest days? And the Lord replied, and those are the days that I carried you. And, that's just the way that it is. He carries us in those seasons. And God said to Joshua and the people of Israel, and he's saying to you today, every step you take, every place you go, I am with you. And in your victories and in your defeats and your good times and your bad times and your dark days and your bright days, I am with you, that I am an ever-present force in your life. And you might say to me, well, Anne-Marie, I don't always feel his presence. And I'm still here to say to you, he is always with you. And you might say, but I don't really deserve his presence, but he says, I'm always with you. Or you might just disqualify yourself, and I'm not a Joyce Meyer, I'm not a Joel Osteen, and I say he is always with you. And oftentimes we have proclivity to deceive ourselves into thinking that he is not ever present. We pretend that he's not right here with us, and we don't even see that he's watching us. We pretend we're all alone and that we can't lean on him for help. But by failing to acknowledge his presence, we miss out on the blessings of his provision. And so if you want to make that move into the promises, your promised land, then claim the promise of God's permanent residency in your life. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. Acknowledge his presence today. Expect it, live in it, and this is how you make your move into those promises. And for those of you today who feel like you're wandering in a wilderness, I have very good news for you. And today is a day of transition. God is calling out what's been hidden inside of you. And I want you to know that today is a day that you can begin. It's a place of promise that awaits you. It's a place of contentment for your soul, and joy and peace and abundance and satisfaction. It's a land flowing, as the word says, with milk and honey. And God is waiting for you to enter. It's time for you to make your move. And so as I end this devotion, I want you to prepare to experience uncommon, unexpected, miraculous, life-changing crossing over experiences in your life. I see God aiding you to cross over from darkness to his glorious light. I see you crossing over from depression to excitement and victory, and out from debt and defeat into liberty and prosperity. And I just really believe that you are passing over the boundaries that men have set for you. And I see you traveling through those barriers victoriously to the glory of God. Will you receive that today? I just want to bless you. I will continue praying for you, and I will see you here tomorrow. I love you.